Hello everyone, I am DongHoonShin from Seoul National University, South Korea. I will talk about on the road to the research of one paleopathology in East Asia. Civilization does not automatically mean disease-free status. It always makes different kind of disease in human history. My lab is to know the changes in health and disease status of mankind history. In our previous studies, the investigation of ancient graves of Korea was very meaningful to us for understanding the disease history of the past. From the graves, the clothing or other cultural remains were discovered there, which can provide us a scientific clue to study the people and society of the past. Using the data, the physical traits or diseases of Korean people can be revealed by paleopathological study. The stabilized topo analysis and estimation of the statue could be a good example. And many diseases of Korean people could be revealed by paleopathological study. The examples include rheumatic arthritis, benign osteoma, and dental caries. Other diseases, you can see that the signs of the osteomyelitis, fracture, and the gunshot wound found in the Joseon people's skeletons. And not only for ancient skeletons, we did the study of Korean mummies too, for paleopathological investigation. As seen in this table, we did investigation for Korean mummies by 2020, and the number of the cases reached 30 cases. In Korean mummy cases, we could observe the pathological signs of tuberculosis and atherosclerosis that could not be easily observable in skeletonized cases. And we also did archaeoparasitological study on Korean mummies using the pieces from the mummy pelvis. By Korean mummy studies, we can estimate the parasite infection prevalence in Korea from Joseon period to 2012. You can see the parasite infection prevalence of each species in table 2. And the ancient DNA analysis of parasites could be done using the data from ancient parasite eggs. To know the people's health status and the disease of the past, we can use the histological research on ancient documents, infection patterns of trematode parasites among Joseon people, and horse riding accidents and injuries in historical records of Joseon dynasty could be the good examples. Currently, we are doing historical analysis of pre-modern documents of Korea on the autopsy of the dead people. This can provide information of people's traumatic injuries of the period. Now I am talking about on the road to the research of one paleopathology. Human health and disease could not be understood only by research on human beings. Animals and humans are closely influenced by each other in the process of evolution. Paleopathology and zooarchaeology are the sub-studies of human and animal disease conditions. One paleopathology to analyze these two fields to understand the disease of humans and animals at a more comprehensive level. Following this trend, research in South Korea has focused on the historical interaction between human and domesticated animals. There are 3 different topics of one paleopathology in South Korea. First, how human beings and domesticated animals originated, spread, and reached today's status in East Asia. Second, animal diseases spread to human beings as a zoonotic infection. Third, about livestock deaths due to infectious disease led to human starvation and death. To do this, archaeological, historical, and genetical studies has been combinedly conducted. For this work, in the archaeological sites, along with human bones, we also collected and analyzed different kinds of the animal bones. As per one paleopathology concept, we can explain like this. The pathogens in wildlife zoonotic reservoirs and urban and peri-urban species could be transferred to human beings, and it became the newly emerging pathogen in human populations. To understand one paleopathology in East Asia, we must know the origin and the spread of domesticated animals first. This is the first example of origin and spread of domesticated animals in East Asia. The cattle can be studied by genetic and archaeological studies. Archaeologists and genetic scientists also studied the chicken, the origin and the spread of the species in East Asia. The horse can be studied as well, about the origin and the spread of the species using the genetic analysis. The silkworm is another example of domesticated animals to be studied. This is the result of the genetic analysis of domesticated pigs. This is the ongoing study of ourselves. The genetic and archaeological reports are not the only subject of animal research. Oracle Bone Script is a major repository that recorded several animal-related letters. The study on them has academic significance as it grasps details about the utilization of animal resources in ancient society of East Asia. Now I am talking about the second subject of one paleopathology in East Asia, animal diseases spread to human beings as a zoonotic infection. Ascaris species is a good example of the zoonotic infection. It is well known that the pig Ascaris and human Ascaris has been closely correlated with each other, and this is a good example of the zoonotic infection. We did genetic analysis of Ascaris species eggs collected from the archaeological sites. Plasmodium species, the pathogen of the malaria infection, is another example of the zoonotic infection. The pathogen was shared by the primates, and human malaria has been developed from the shared pathogen. We did genetic analysis of the reported DNA sequences of the Plasmodium species. Now I am talking about the last subject of one paleopathology in East Asia. The topic is about the death of the domesticated animals due to infectious disease and human history. The cowpox is the ancestor of human measles virus. Measles is a zoonosis infection from cattle. Measles was very serious disease in East Asia before the 20th century, and many historical records of measles infection remained. Cowpox repeatedly struck Korean society before the 20th century. During the period, many cattle died, and this led to difficulties in Korean society. In summary, to reveal the disease history of human beings, both human and domesticated animals should be simultaneously researched from the perspective of paleopathology. Human diseases could be understood well when a relationship between life and disease of human beings and domesticated animals will be revealed more clearly. Thank you for your attention.